Hi, this is Shane with Healthcare Managers Playbook, and we're going to talk in this segment about boundaries. And boundaries are important to learn about early in on your journey as a new leader or manager because we can feel like, and partly because it's new and because it's early, we can feel like we need to be available 24/7, 365 days a year. If somebody reaches out, we should be responding quickly, even if that reach out happens to be after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But a boundary is really just kind of a demarcation, a signal, if you will, that we need to be focusing in on something at that particular moment, and we need to filter out or save or push to the side other things at this particular time. And you think of a simple example like the roadway system that we have. The lines on the sides of the road help to keep our cars where they need to be. The traffic lights tell us when to stop, when to start. Stop signs do the same thing. But there's a lot of just visual communication that happens from this structured boundary system. So if we can pull in pieces of this into the workplace, it can really help us as leaders and managers to have organization in keep things organized and systematized while we're at work. So as a new manager in particular, because we feel like once we get into this new role, we need to be the answer for everything. We need to be available for everybody. Sometimes no matter what the time, 9 o'clock at night, if we get something in, we feel the need to respond. And that's not necessarily the case. So a good boundary, and we'll talk about a few examples, is going to keep us so we can, when we're not at work, we can focus in and be there and be available for our family and our friends and our hobbies in our out of work life. But then when we're at work, we can also be plugged in and really concentrated and focused in at work as well. So I think one example of a boundary that is helpful to put in place is the time period after work, and I called it a 5 p.m. boundary. After 5 o'clock, you're going home, I'm going home, and if you text me after 5 o'clock, I'm likely not going to answer. And it's not because I'm being rude, it's because I'm going to unplug and so I can plug in with my family. And it doesn't mean I won't respond, but I probably won't respond until the next day. So, and this, granted, talk about this in a staff meeting ahead of time so people know what to expect. But the idea is this works both ways. I'm also not going to text you after 5 o'clock with something related to work because I want you to focus in and plug in and unplug from work, but plug into your family and your life outside of work. So that way you can recharge and refresh and come back in the next day with a full head of steam. So the 5 o'clock texting boundary is a helpful one to put into place. So that way you get that work-life kind of separation. And the fallback from that is if there's really an emergency, just call me because I might not have my phone on me because I'll set it down and I won't see a text, but my phone will ring. If you need something, there's always that fallback plan so you know I got you. But only call if you're sick and you're not going to make it in or something critical is happening. Don't call just to tell me about a change in admission or something that way because we can catch that the very next day. Another good boundary to get in place is being able to close your door. And if you're in the office and that door is closed, that's a signal to everybody else that you're focusing in on work at that particular time. And keeping that door open would be distracting from your ability to get that task done. And we think that we can multitask, and wrongfully so. We can't multitask and get work done without compromising either the accuracy or how long it's going to take us. If we try to multitask and keep that door open and have conversations while we're still working on a spreadsheet or something, that task is going to take us longer. And we're also going to make more mistakes than we would if we close that door. And the rub is too, when that door is open and we're focused over here on a screen and somebody comes to talk to us, we might try to talk to them without giving them the proper attention that they deserve. And nothing's more off-putting than having a conversation while somebody's looking at their monitor and talking to us at the same time. That's a signal that I'm clearly not as interested in what you have to say as what I am and what's happening on my monitor over here. So those are just a couple of examples of boundaries. think through your pain points at work or where you feel like you're being stretched and pulled in many different directions, and come up with some boundaries that can help to keep things organized and contained. Because the goal is to do this job over a long period of time. And boundaries can be helpful in not getting to the point where you feel burned out and overstretched. We want the management and leadership side of your career to be rewarding and fruitful and long lasting. And hopefully, this is just a starter about boundaries, but hopefully this can help get you started in that direction. So thanks for tuning in to the Healthcare Manager's Playbook. Look forward to seeing you again in future episodes. Thank you.